the Kraft Foods Company presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of Parquet margarine. Every day, millions of women all over America serve Parquet margarine because it tastes so good.
To market, to get some Parquet. Home again, try it today. You like it, you love it, like millions who say their favorite margarine is Parquet.
Parquet margarine, Parkay, it's wonderful. And now let's get in step with the great Gildersleeve as he surges toward his office. We'll have to move right along to keep up because the great man has geared himself to a fast pace this morning.
Good morning, Bessie.
Good morning, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I see you got here promptly at 9. As I told you, you may come in, pad and pencil.
Yes, sir, I have them.
You must be alone, Bessie. No interruptions.
Yes, sir.
First of all, I want to thank you for coming down on Saturday morning, but there's work to be done. It's piling up.
Yes, sir. The one pile toppled over, so I made it into 3 piles.
Well, we'll clear the desk. Bing, bing.
Mr. Gildersleeve, before we get started, well, just so I get out before the stores close at 6, I have to pick up some little things.
Oh, well, we better get going then. Start at the bottom. Where is it?
Oh, the pile on your left was the bottom.
Oh. Yeah. Should have known. Nothing worse than musty envelopes. Phew. Smells like a glue factory.
Open the windows?
That won't be necessary. My correspondence isn't that old. Now, let's see. I'll read the yellowest one first. Dear Mr. Gildersleeve, a group of public-minded citizens in the 3rd District met last night and discussed the annoying problem of insufficient water pressure. And unless you... Anxiously awaiting your reply. Well, let them wait. Anxiously. Throw it away.
Yes, sir. Well, there's another letter from them in the 2nd pile. That came this year.
Huh? Chronic complainers, eh? Pay no attention to them.
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, let's read something on the brighter side. Dear Water Commissioner, if that's what you call yourself. Looks like a hard day, Bessie.
Yes, sir.
Hold that one. I'll have to think it over. Now then, where were we?
We threw one away and we're holding the other.
Yes, that's pretty discouraging, Bessie, dealing with the public. Here I come down full of pep, even on Saturday, and get absolutely no cooperation. Makes a man wish he'd stayed at home.
I'm right here waiting, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, I don't mean you, Bessie. I'm talking about the consumers. Dissatisfied, grumbling. Not a healthy sign, Bessie. Oh, well, the thing to do is to send them all copies of our water supply report. That explains everything in an optimistic way.
Well, I've got this year's report right here.
Better send them last year's. It's much better. Get last year's, will you, Bessie?
You took it home with you last spring, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Last spring? Are you sure?
Yes, sir. That other day we were so busy. Remember?
Well, there's nothing we can do here, Bessie, till I run home and find that report. That means the whole morning is shot. Better make it snappy.
Shall I wait here, Mr. Gildersleeve, on Saturday?
Better run along and do your shopping, Bessie. We'll get a fresh start Monday. Finding those reports may take quite a little while. Business.
Gildersleeve, I can't find them reports you was talking about.
Neither could I, Bertie. Completely wore myself out looking for the darn things. That's why I stretched out here on the couch. Got sleepy glancing over the newspaper. Says cold wave coming in. Early storms predicted in local areas.
Where's that?
Right here, Bertie.
Well, I don't know where else to look for them reports.
Well, they'll turn up. Keep searching, Bertie.
I tell you, Mr. Gildersleeve, I've already turned this house upside down.
You don't have to tell me. I can see that.
I'm sorry the place looks this way, Mr. Gildersleeve, but this is my day to sow. And I was just giving the house a lick and a promise.
Oh, well, lick it clean. Let's keep the promise. I've noticed things have been allowed to slide around here lately, Bertie. If things were kept shipshape, my reports wouldn't be missing. It's high time we clean house.
When, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Now, Bertie, today. Clean up and tighten up the house before winter comes.
Well, what about the mending?
That can wait. We can sit and sew when the wind's howling outside. Now, where are the children? Summon Marjorie and Leroy to the living room. But I have to say, concerns everyone.
Yes, sir. I'll go call them.
Never mind, Bertie.
Hi, Unc. See you later.
Just a minute, Leroy. Where do you think you're going?
Out to play. It's Saturday. No school.
I know, but there's work to be done just the same.
Ah, gee, Unc. Even my teacher says Saturday's for recreation. You always said she knows best.
5 days a week, my boy, yes. But on Saturday, I'm as smart as she is.
Leroy, did you sneak my nail polish off my dresser again? I know you did. The cover wasn't on tight. Hello, Uncle Mort.
Hello, my dear. What's this?
Leroy's been into my nail polish again. I know he has.
I didn't use hardly any.
Leroy, let's see. Have you been covering him up instead of digging him out?
Me? I just gave my turtle a manicure.
What?
What? Leroy, the next time you sneak my nail polish...
This is no time for family squabbles. We should be banding together, children, with a common cause in mind. That's why I call this meeting.
What meeting? Gosh.
The one you're now in.
But it's Saturday outside, the one day to have fun.
You'll have fun doing this if you'll enter into it with a proper spirit.
I knew it. Work.
But, Unc...
Now, see here. A man gets up early in the morning, slaves like a dog at the office so he can get home and plan things out with his family, and what does he get? Nothing but arguments. Now sit down, both of you, and listen to me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bertie?
Yes, sir. I've been listening.
Now then, this is our little home. Yours, Marjorie, yours, Leroy, yours, Bertie, and mine. Not just a place to eat and sleep or a place to run in and out of. Our little home. It doesn't look like anybody lives here. At least not people. Everything around here is topsy-turvy, thrown helter-skelter. Nothing in its proper place. No system.
I think it looks fine in here. Don't you, Bertie?
It does not. Look at those old magazines strewn all over that window seat. What are they?
Good housekeeping.
Well, clear them out. Clean upstairs and downstairs. Out with the old dust, in with the new. Marjorie, must you fix your nails while I'm speaking?
Well, I have to fix my nails. I have to look nice. You want me to make a good impression on Ben, don't you?
My dear, if you really want to make an impression on Ben, you show him how well you can clean a house. That's what impresses men.
Is that what impresses you about women, Uncle Mort?
That's beside the point. I'm older. Now, let's get everything shipshape before winter comes. What we need around here is the old pioneer spirit.
Come along with me, Miss Marjorie. Maybe we better put up some preserves and smoke a couple of hams. It looks like a long, hard winter.
Yes. Well, there's a man's work to be done outside. Come along, little man.
Aw, what are we going to do outside?
We're going to get up on the roof and clean the leaves out of the gutters. Storm warning in the paper, my boy. Looks like it might rain any minute.
But the leaves haven't even started falling this year.
Well, we can get up there and clean off last year's leaves. Let's see. Hose, broom, ladder, rake.
What a way to spend Saturday.
Good for us, my boy. Lots of fresh air up on the roof. Good exercise. Come on. I'll hold the ladder.
What? You want me to go way up there alone? But, Unc, I'm just a little kid. What if I should fall?
Nonsense. You're not afraid. A big boy like you. Now get up that ladder or you go to bed.
Can I go to bed through the upstairs window?
No, you can't. Now get up there.
But, Unc, you said...
Leroy.
But don't you remember when I climbed up there last year for my football? You said I should never do it again.
Huh? Trapped. You're right, my boy. This is a man's job. I'll do it myself.
All right, see, you're wonderful. I'll see you later.
Wait a minute, Leroy. There is a job you can do. You clean up the yard and burn that old pile of trash. Now get busy.
There's no place to burn it. Unless I use Mr. Bullard's back lot. Oh, boy, can I, Unc?
Not a bad idea, taking our junk over to Bullard's. Very well, my boy.
Okay, Unky, we'll have a regular bonfire.
Little Leroy. Well, might as well get up there and get it over with. Wash the leaves down with this hose. That's the way to do it. Let's see. Shut off the water at the nozzle. Great thing to control water, a nozzle. Now, turn it on at the tap. Have the job done in jig time. Turn it the wrong way. There. Now, fireman, how do you get up a ladder with a hose? Tie it around my stomach? Yeah. Nozzle in my pocket. There, I'm all set. Don't worry, you big, beautiful blonde. Fireman Gildersleeve to the rescue.
What's that you say, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Nothing, Bertie, nothing.
Okay, thought you said something.
Yes. Now, up we go. Eef, rickety ladder. Yump. Zeke. Oink. Oh, tummy's too close to the rungs. Better lean back a little. Oh, tricky ladder. At last. Shingles look awfully slippery, though. If I can just get a toe hold. Dizzy. Oh! Grab the roof. Hang on. Ladder's going. Oh! Made it. Darn ladder almost took me down with it. Knocked a few shingles loose. I can see right through the roof. Have to get that fixed. How did all this junk get up here? Orange peels, tennis ball. Good thing I'm cleaning it off. What's this? Empty milk bottle. Well, I'll toss it down and get my 2 cents back. Oh, well, what's 2 cents?
Hey! Watch what you're doing.
Who's that?
Don't you throw any more bottles at me, Gildersleeve.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Bullard. I didn't see you. Sorry.
Yes, I'll bet you are. I'm not going to stand for any more of this, Gildersleeve.
Well, you won't have to. That's the only bottle up here.
What kind of a neighbor are you, anyway?
Neighbor? What are you talking about?
You know very well. You had the effrontery to send that measly little nephew of yours over to my place to burn your confounded rubbish.
Leroy is my nephew, but he's not measly.
Well, you think my place is. I don't know. It's not a junkyard, you know. Gildersleeve, you're a public nuisance.
Yeah, well, make up your mind and see here, Bullard.
You chimney sweep.
Oh, have a care or I'll come down off this roof and...
You wouldn't dare.
Oh, I wouldn't. You're just saying that because I haven't got a ladder.
Gildersleeve, I'll call your bluff. I'll put the ladder up for you.
Don't you touch that ladder. Don't you touch anything around here. And don't you lay a hand on Leroy. Now get off the property.
I will. And you keep your junk off mine.
Big coward. Should have turned the hose on him. Oh, well, gotta get on with the job. What's the trouble here? No water pressure. Running harder than that in my pocket. Something must have happened at the reservoir. That Charlie Anderson. I better go down and phone him. Oop. No ladder. Bertie! Oh, Bertie!
We'll be back with the great Gildersleeve in just a minute. You know, as the Parquet reporter, I try to find out how the Summerfield people feel about Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Now, the other day, I met Leroy on the street. Leroy, I said, How do you like parquet margarine?
Swell. Why?
Oh, I just want your opinion. Now, what do you like most about it?
I don't know. Just tastes good.
Do you realize that parquet is a craft product, and that means it's a quality product?
Yeah, I guess so. Sure does taste good.
And do you realize that each pound of parquet contains 15,000 units of vitamin A, and that vitamin A is one of the most important of the vitamins?
Well, it tastes fine.
And what about the smooth richness of parquet? You ever notice that?
I don't know. I guess so. Most of the time I'm so busy eating and tasting I don't think about other things. I like to keep my mind on my eating.
Oh, now, you're not being very helpful, Leroy. I'm trying to find out what one thing makes you like parquet margarine.
Well, like I said, I like the taste of it so well, I just don't stop to think why I like it.
Well, there you are, friends. Leroy feels pretty much the same way that millions of women all over America feel. They serve parquet margarine because it tastes so good. Try parquet for yourself. That's parquet margarine, Parkay. It's wonderful. Now let's get back to the great Gildersleeve. He spent an arduous morning preparing to wash the leaves off his rooftop with a garden hose, only to discover at the crucial moment that the water pressure was down. It's only natural that we should find him on the phone, trying to discover what goes on at the reservoir that he doesn't know about.
Fine state of affairs, and in my own water department. Well, I'll turn on some pressure.
Charlie Anderson, the reservoir speaking.
Yeah, Commissioner Gildersleeve, Charlie.
Oh, hello, Commissioner. What's on your so-called mind?
Charlie, why is it we don't have any water pressure up here?
Same dad-busted reason I got none down here.
That's no answer.
Well, in the first place, everybody's watering their lawns today or taking baths. It's Saturday, you know.
Well, ye gods, man, get the pressure up. A thing like this is bad for the department.
You know what's wrong, Commissioner, as well as I do. Same old trouble with the dad-busted snifter valve.
That's no excuse. You've always had trouble with your snifter valve, Charlie.
Let's not get personal, Commissioner. And if you don't like the way I run things out here, you can get yourself another boy.
Charlie, don't be like that. Just get the pressure up, or I'll get myself another boy. Hope you didn't hear that. Oh, well.
Don't come in here, Uncle Mort. I just waxed the floor. Are you through outside already?
Through? Well, no, Marjorie. I thought I'd relax a second till Charlie gets the pressure up.
Well, not in here. It isn't dry yet.
Well, the den, then, I guess.
Don't come in here, Mr. Gildersleeve. I ain't half through.
Don't worry. Just 6 years old. Well, there's always the hall couch.
Coming through, Unky Rugs.
Oh.
And don't light there. I'm cleaning the hall next.
Don't worry. I'm going.
Who's going?
I'm going.
Okay.
Hi, George. I'll go down to Peavy's and get some cigars. Driven out of my own house. Pushed around, run over. I'm nobody. I just pay the bills around here, that's all. And you'd think somebody'd clean this car for me sometime.
Hey, can I go?
No!
Mr. Bullard was pretty mad about me burning the trash on his back lot, huh?
Who told you could carry matches, young man?
Matches? I've been carrying them for 5 years.
Hereafter, don't. Unless you get permission from me first.
Permission? To carry matches? For corn's sake.
Get out of the way, Leroy. Get out of the way. I've got to back out. Darn hedges. Like backing the car through a jungle. Just have to get the clippers after him pretty soon. I think I'll turn up the street instead of down. Oop! Well, no damage done, I hope, mister.
You again, Gildersleeve?
Oh, Bullard.
Gildersleeve, how far do you think you can go with me? Just look at my fender.
Huh?
Look at it. You'll pay for this.
Just a minute, Bullard. Who's to say who's at fault?
It's perfectly obvious to me, Gildersleeve. Look how you were turning. Going up the wrong side of the street. You always turn the other way. I've watched you.
Peeping Tom.
I believe you did this deliberately. I'm not a well man, Gildersleeve. My nerves. And this isn't doing them any good. I may be suffering from shock.
Let's talk this over, Bullard, huh? Arbitrate. That's the way to settle these things.
Gildersleeve, you can arbitrate with my lawyers.
Gildersleeve? What can I do you for?
I'm already done for, Peavy. Today has been one of those that try men's souls. Give me a couple of my cigars, Peavy.
Well, just as you say, Mr. Gildersleeve, but if I was shaking the way you are, I'd watch my smoking.
When I need advice along that line, I'll consult somebody who knows what he's talking about.
Well, I'll give you your change and you can go consult him.
I'm sorry, Peavy. I'm kind of on edge. Nerves. I just witnessed a horrible accident.
No?
2 men backing out of their driveways. Horrible thing. Dented one of the fenders.
Well, that doesn't sound too horrible.
You just don't know, Peavy. You've never dented anybody else's fender.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I scratched one once.
You did? Did he sue you, Peavy?
Mr. Gildersleeve, you weren't one of the...
I'm asking this for a friend.
Oh.
You see, this friend of mine was in the accident with not a friend of mine.
Oh, now I have it clear. Was anybody hurt?
No.
Well, as I see it, Mr. Gildersleeve, there's no reason for you to be quaking like an aspen.
You didn't see it, Peavy. You weren't there.
I understand that, but it sounds pretty much like the time I scratched the party's fender.
Oh? Who paid? What happened?
Nothing. There was a temporary flurry of excitement, but it all blew over in a few minutes. By the next day, everybody had forgotten about it. Everybody, that is, except Mrs. Peavy.
Oh?
I wouldn't worry about your friend if I were you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Peavy, you're right. By George, I'm making mountains out of molehills. It was an unavoidable thing. Nobody was hurt. What have I got to... what has my friend got to worry about? Well, Peavy, I'll be running along home.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, Peavy?
I wonder if you'd mind dropping this prescription off at Mr. Bullard's house.
Bullard? Is he...
Confined to his home, suffering from shock, they say.
Peavy, I'm not taking anything to Bullard. Ye gods, I gotta find Judge Hooker.
Well, now, what's the matter with him, I wonder?
Wonder what's taking Hooker so long. Sent him over to Bullard's an hour ago. Maybe making a deal behind my back, for all I know. I wouldn't put it past him. Anything can happen in a lawsuit. I'll take everything I've got. Poor Marjorie. Little Leroy. Thrown out of our home just when we made it snug for the winter. Yeah, there he is, the old turncoat.
Well, Gildy.
Don't well Gildy me. It's about time, Hooker.
It took a little longer than I thought.
Well, what'd you find out?
A number of things came to light which have a direct bearing on the case, Gildersleeve. Things you're not aware of, apparently, but nevertheless, they're important.
There's only one important thing about a lawsuit, Hooker. Who pays?
Well, I'm coming to that. I might say that after conferring with Mr. Bullard and examining all the evidence, it was comparatively easy to place the blame where it belonged.
I knew it. Go ahead, Hooker. Tell me I haven't got a leg to stand on. Admit you don't want to represent a loser.
Now, Gildersleeve, you know I never kicked a dog when he was down.
I'm no dog, Hooker.
I didn't say you were.
This isn't the first time we've been on opposite sides of the fence.
I'll admit that we've had our differences in the past.
She doesn't live here anymore.
Trouble with you, Gildersleeve, is that you won't listen to reason. You won't.
I've heard enough, Hooker. Now get out.
All right. You aren't going to let me explain that Bullard hasn't a case, and there's nothing for you to worry about.
There isn't? There's nothing to worry about? Well, sit down, Horace, old friend. Would you like to stay for dinner?
That's better. You've been ranting like a wild man.
Forgive me, Horace. I wasn't myself. When a man is standing in the shadow of a lawsuit for things like shock...
The only shock Bullard had was when he found out the accident was his fault.
Oh? I knew it all the time anyway. Go on, Horace.
Well, we discovered that his brakes didn't work.
Huh?
Leaky brake drum.
Leaky brakes, eh? Well, a leaky brake. Horace, you old goat. Why didn't you tell me?
How could I? Wait a minute, Gildy.
Huh?
Do I hear something dripping?
Must be Bullard's leaky brakes.
Look, there's a puddle right on the floor.
Water!
And another on the Davenport.
What?
Gildy, your roof's leaking.
Oh, my goodness, the storms have come, and the roof isn't ready. Judge, get some pans.
Yeah.
Get a bucket. Come on, spread them around. It's a flood.
Phone Gildy.
Probably the Red Cross.
Wait a minute, Gildy. That's strange.
What's strange? Plug the leaks, man the pans. Marjorie, Leroy, Bertie.
Gildy, look outside. The sun is shining.
Oh, my goodness, the hose. I left her up on the roof. Out of the way, Judge. I gotta get that hose out of there.
I'm going to answer the phone.
Yeah, this is Bullard's fault. I'll sue him. Hello.
Hello, Commissioner. Charlie Anderson out of the reservoir. How do you like the water pressure now?
Oh!
We'll hear from the great Gildersleeve again very soon. Every day, millions of women all over America serve parquet margarine because it tastes so good. Try it soon. Discover for yourself how good parquet tastes when you spread it on bread, toast, and rolls. It's true. Every day, millions of women all over America serve parquet margarine because it tastes so good. Look first for the margarine of Kraft quality. Parquet margarine made by Kraft.
To market, to get some parquet. Home again, try it today. You like it, you love it, like millions who say their favorite margarine is parquet.
Parquet margarine, P-A-R-K-A-Y, it's wonderful.
My lands, just look at this living room, and right after I spent the whole day cleaning.
It wouldn't have happened if Uncle Mort hadn't suddenly decided to get everything snug for the winter.
Well, we sure look like we're standing in the middle of some mighty tough weather.
Now, Bertie, Marjorie, I'll assume full responsibility. I'll straighten up the room myself. I don't want either one of you to lift a finger. Bertie, you run right along and see about dinner.
All right, Miss Gildersleeve.
Let's see. The rug is soaked. You and I better roll it up and take it outside to dry, Marjorie. Where's Leroy?
Here, Unc.
Grab an end, my boy. Wet rug's pretty hard to handle.
Okay.
Wait a minute. What's this? Old papers under the rug. Leroy?
I didn't do it. That's some of your stuff.
It's what I left the office for. The water supply report.
All wet, huh?
Well, it's the best we've got. Well, this is important. Better take it right down to the office.
Uncle Mort, on Saturday night? And leave the living room looking like this?
Well, you and Bertie give it a lick and a promise, my dear. I got business to attend to. Good night, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. It is written by John Elliott and Andy White with music by Jack Meakin. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Louise Erickson, Lillian Randolph, Earl Ross, and Richard LeGrand. This is John Wald saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products.
Good night.
Listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Have you tried Pabstet? It's a cheese food that's really different, rich in mellow cheddar cheese flavor, easy to serve in a variety of tempting ways. Pabstet spreads easily for sandwiches and snacks, melts smoothly into rich golden cheese sauces, slices in a distinctive way, for Pabstet can be cut into neat wedges when chilled for serving with fruit or pie desserts. Why not buy both varieties of this delicious, nourishing cheese food? Ask for golden cheddar Pabstet or pimento Pabstet. Pabst-ETT. Pabstet cheese food. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Foods Company presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of Parquet margarine. Every day, millions of women all over America serve Parquet margarine because it tastes so good.
To market, to get some Parquet. Home again, try it today. You'll like it, you'll love it, like millions who say their favorite margarine is Parquet.
Parquet margarine, Parkay, it's wonderful. The Great Gildersleeve is trudging manfully home from the office. Our water commissioner's a bit tired, perhaps, but his pudgy face reflects the contentment of a day's work well done. A little thrill of pride surges through him as he reaches the border of his domain. He is the king, and yonder lies his castle. His Majesty stops and surveys his kingdom.
Mustn't forget to put the cans out tonight. Oh, Leroy's skates again. I've got to talk to him about this. Anybody home? Oh, hello, Bertie.
Evening, Mr. Gildersleeve. Have a good day.
Yes, thank you, Bertie.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes?
Don't forget, tonight's can night.
Yes, I know. Any mail?
Yes, I put some down the mantel.
Thank you, Bertie.
You won't forget about tonight.
What?
It's can night.
Yeah, all right, Bertie. Looks like they're all bills. What's this?
What's what, Mr. Gildersleeve?
This letter isn't for us. It's for Mr. E.L. Hoffman. Know anybody by that name?
No, sir.
That's funny. Right address, but wrong name. It's from some summer resort. Lake Contentment. Probably a circular. Well, anyway, it doesn't belong to us.
Want me to stick it back in the mailbox?
No, I'll take care of it, Bertie. I'll give it to the mailman in the morning. Forgot to give that letter to the mailman this morning. Well, I'll take care of it tomorrow. Must do that. That letter's still here. I must give that back tomorrow without fail. Bertie, remind me to give this letter back tomorrow, will you? It's been here for over a week. Let's be on our toes, Bertie.
Tomorrow comes. The great man is lingering over his last morning cup of coffee.
Mr. Gildersleeve, the mailman's here.
Huh?
I told him you had a letter for him.
What letter?
You said that I should remind you.
Oh, that letter. You can give it to him, Bertie. It's on the mantel.
Yes, sir. I don't see it, Mr. Gildersleeve.
What?
It's not on the mantel.
It was there last night, Bertie. It doesn't have legs. I don't think it got up and walked away.
Well, it's not there. The mailman's waiting.
Oh, suppose I'll have to find it. Did you look all over the mantel?
Yes, sir.
Under things?
Yes, sir.
Now, let's take another look. What's Leroy's catcher's mitt doing up here? Not under there. Maybe it's mixed up in these movie magazines.
I looked under Clark Gable. It's not there.
Never saw so much junk. That candy cane has been there since last Christmas. And what's this? Oh, my insurance policy. Bertie, we've got to keep this mantel cleared off.
I tried, but it's a losing battle. Oh, that's the mailman. What shall I tell him?
Tell him to hold his horses. What's the matter with him?
It's that new mailman. Looks real like a crab to me.
Oh, well, you tell him we'll give him the letter tomorrow. It's here someplace.
Well, he ain't gonna like it.
What's he worrying about? No skin off his nose. He'll get his letter. Could have sworn it was on this mantel. I'll take one more look. Might be under the clock. Nope. Here's my garage key. Wonder where that was.
Miss Gildersleeve?
Well?
He says he wants that letter now.
What?
Yes, sir. He says you're holding up the U.S. mail.
Who does he think he is?
That's what he said.
Well, he's not going to bully me. After all, he's a public servant. I'm a taxpayer. Why, I pay his salary. Part of it, anyway. He wouldn't have a job if it weren't for me. He'd better be careful what he says.
Yes, sir.
He'd better watch his step. It's time somebody told him a thing or two. Put him in his place. I'm not working for him. He's working for me. He better remember that.
Why don't you tell him, Mr. Gildersleeve?
I will.
Well?
Good morning.
Did you find that letter?
Well, no, I'm sorry about that. I thought it was on the mantel.
Oh.
It was there yesterday. I can't imagine what happened to it. Awfully sorry. Hope I haven't inconvenienced you.
Well, that's all right. I'll drop by again.
Oh, well, that's very nice of you. Thanks.
Not at all. Goodbye, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Goodbye. Nice fellow, Bertie. What's the matter, Bertie?
You sure told him.
Good morning, Bessie. Bessie, I said good morning.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Any calls this morning? Bessie.
Oh, what'd you say?
Bessie, take a letter.
What?
Dear Bessie, if you wish to remain in the employ of the Summerfield Department of Water, I suggest you do your daydreaming at home on your own time. Yours truly, Commissioner Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve.
How many copies? Oh, you're joking.
That's what you think. Now stop staring out of the window and let's get some work done around here.
Yes, sir.
You'd better finish that report for the mayor. Where's my fountain pen? Guess it's in my pocket. What's this?
What's the matter, Mr. Gildersleeve?
What? Nothing, Bessie. I just found a letter. It came to my house by mistake. Bessie, you better take this right down to the post office.
But what about the report?
The report can wait. This is important, Bessie. Can't hold up the United States mail. Go on, Bessie. Get on your motorcycle.
Motorcycle?
Figure of speech, Bessie. Here you are. Now get going.
This letter looks familiar. Mr. E.L. Hoffman.
You know him?
I sent him a water bill last week. Why, this is it.
What?
I don't know how I got your address on it. Guess I made a mistake.
You guess?
I wondered why we hadn't heard from him.
Ye gods, where did you get these envelopes? They're from some summer resort.
I had a few left over.
What?
Well, that's where I spent my vacation, Lake Contentment. It was a wonderful place.
Bessie, for your information, this is the city water department, not a lake.
Well, last week when we ran out of envelopes, you said we couldn't afford to buy any. I should use whatever I had. That's what you told me.
All right, Bessie, but you didn't have to use these. Look what it says. Forget your worries. Just be gay. It's time to take a holiday. Now, how do you expect people to pay their water bills when we send them stuff like that? No wonder no collections came in this month.
I try to do my best.
Bessie, this is the last straw. The straw that broke the camel's back. I've tried to be patient, but this time you've made one mistake too many. You've been here a long time, Bessie, but I've got to think of the department. It's bigger than both of us. It's much...
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Bessie, I didn't mean it. Guess I lost my head. We all make mistakes. What if they don't pay their water bills? What the heck? Bessie, blow your nose.
Oh, Martin, why did you leave me?
Martin? Who's Martin?
I met him at Lake Contentment. He won the athletic tournament. He chinned himself 25 times.
Yeah, one of those summer camp show-offs.
Oh, no. Martin's a wonderful boy, but he's so moody. Oh, why did we have that silly quarrel?
Well, I wouldn't worry, Bessie. Martin will come back.
No, he won't. You don't know what I've been through this week, Mr. Gildersleeve. Every night I lay awake and cry. That's why I've been dozing in the office. I just know I'm going to lose him. Plain little me.
Why, that's nonsense, Bessie. You're as attractive as any girl. Well, a lot of girls. All you need is to spruce up a little bit. Look at that dress you're wearing. Get a new one, something flashy. That's what men like. Come on, Bessie. I'll go with you and help you pick one out. It's for the good of the water department.
Mr. Gildersleeve, do you think he might like One of those new long skirts?
Long skirts? Tss, don't cover 'em up, Bessie. Romance is like business. It pays to advertise. That was an excellent dinner, Bertie. Excellent.
Thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Give my compliments to the chef.
I'll do that.
You're a card, Unc. My, you're in a good humor tonight, Uncle Mort.
Well, I guess I am. Little personnel problem came up at the office today, children. And if I do say so myself, I handled it rather neatly.
Oh.
Matter of fact, it's rather an interesting story. When I got to the office this morning, Leroy,
Huh?
we don't leave the table without asking to be excused.
Okay. Can I be excused?
No. You're going to sit here and listen to this. You can learn something.
Okay.
Well, when I got down to the office, I found Bessie.
Who do you expect to find?
Leroy. I'm in a good humor, young man, but don't push me too far.
Don't mind him, Unky. I'm listening.
Thank you, my dear. Well, to make a long story short, when I got to the office this morning, I got there bright and early. The morning hours are the best for working, you know. Leroy, we put our hand over our mouth when we yawn. Where are your manners?
Keep going, Unc. I'm listening.
Well, when I got to the office, I found Bessie. The poor girl had been fluttering around all week like a nervous canary. Then I found out what the trouble was. What do you think? She'd been having trouble with her boyfriend.
Lester?
No, a new one. Some fellow named Martin. Well, I knew if I wanted to get the office running smoothly again, I'd have to do something. That's where the psychology came in. So I got an idea.
Phone, I'll get it, Unc. No, I will. I'm expecting a call from Francie.
You sit there, both of you. Bertie will get it. Bertie!
I'll get it.
We don't all leap to our feet every time the phone rings. This isn't the firehouse.
It's you, Mr. Gildersleeve. Telephone.
All right.
See you later, Unc.
You remain right here, both of you. For once, we're going to have some after-dinner conversation in this house, like civilized people.
Mr. Gildersleeve, telephone.
Coming! Hello?
Mr. Gildersleeve, this is Bessie.
Oh, well, how are you, Bessie?
Mr. Gildersleeve, I just saw Martin.
Martin, well, that's wonderful. So you two got together, eh? Well, how'd Martin like the new dress? Bessie, what's the matter?
Martin's mad at me again. He's mad at you, too.
What?
He says you've changed me. I'm not the old Bessie anymore. He says you had no business making me over. He wants the old Bessie.
All right.
Not the new Bessie.
Ye gods.
He says I'll never be the old Bessie again. Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, I'm so upset.
Huh?
Oh, do you mind if I don't come to work tomorrow?
Oh!
Goodbye.
Bessie! Gee, someday I'll fire that girl.
More about the great Gildersleeve in just a minute. As the Parquet reporter, it's my job to keep posted on how the Summerfield folks feel about Parquet, the margarine of craft quality. So, the other day, I said, Marjorie, what do you think of Parquet?
Oh, I think it's wonderful. I'm on the way to the store to get some now.
Oh, good for you. I suppose you're going right up to the counter and say, give me a pound of Parquet, the margarine of craft quality, made from carefully selected products of American farms.
I'll say nothing of the kind.
Well, maybe you're going to ask for Parquet, the margarine with a finer, fresher flavor. The margarine that's so good on rolls, pancakes, muffins, or waffles.
I'd feel silly saying all that. All I want is a pound of Parquet.
Well, why not ask for that rich, smooth, wholesome margarine, each pound of which contains 15,000 units of valuable vitamin A?
Look, Mr. Wald, I'm going to buy Parquet, not sell it.
Well, why not say I'd like a pound of delicious, flavor-fresh Parquet, a favorite spread for America's bread?
How you announcers do go on. I'm just going to say 1 pound of Parquet, please.
Well, I guess that'll do the trick. After all, every day, millions of women all over America say, Parquet, please, because it tastes so good. That's Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Parkay, it's wonderful. Well, this has been another bad day for the great Gildersleeve. Bessie was too upset to come to the office, so all work is at a standstill. It's evening now, And to forget his troubles, the great man is climbing the stairs to the Jolly Boys Clubhouse over Floyd Munson's barber shop.
Well, if it ain't the commish.
Oh, hello, Floyd.
Hi, Commissioner.
Hello, Chief. How's the watchdog of the law tonight?
Oh, can't complain.
Well, who's that under the moose head?
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Peavy. Speaking of moose heads, where's the old goat?
Oh, the judge couldn't come tonight. Had a little heavy law work. Well, Commissioner, we've missed your off-key baritone.
You should talk, Chief, with that foghorn bass of yours.
Where you been keeping yourself?
Well, I've been pretty busy. Had a lot of things to do.
Why, sure, Chief. Haven't you heard? The commissioner's got a new sideline these days.
What's that?
Picking out dresses for young ladies.
What?
Well, what do you know?
What are you talking about, Floyd?
Oh, don't play possum, Commish. You're a slick article, all right. Who'd have thought that you and Bessie would be schmoozing around?
Oh! Now look here, you fellows.
Come clean, Commissioner. When did this love match start?
Confound it, where did you ever get such a silly idea like that?
Well, I don't like to spread any gossip.
Not much you don't.
But the missus was down doing a little shopping at Hogan Brothers yesterday. Well, you could have knocked her over with a feather when she saw you in the ladies' ready-to-wear department.
I can explain that.
That should be very interesting, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Who asked you for your opinion?
Well, if you want to buy a dress for some young lady, that's your own affair.
I didn't pay for the dress.
Just like in the movies. The boss and the secretary get a pash for each other.
Ye gods, Chief.
Does she ever take dictation sitting on your lap?
Floyd? I've had about enough of you and your pool room mind.
Don't be so touchy, Commish. We're proud of you.
What?
Yeah. Understand you took her away from a younger man. Makes us older fellas feel pretty good.
How'd you do it, Commish? Vitamins?
Oh! I've had enough of this. The whole thing is ridiculous. Just because I did a little innocent thing, tried to help somebody, this is what I get. I give you my word, fellas. All I was trying to do was dress Bessie up a little. Help her win her boyfriend back.
Sure.
That's the truth.
Hey, Commissioner, where you going?
I'm going home. Jolly boys.
Come on, we didn't mean anything, Commissioner.
No, Mr. Gildersleeve, I assure you there was no offense intended.
You keep your 2 cents out of this, Peavy.
Oh, come on, Commish. Cool off. Have a Coke.
How about a song?
I don't feel like singing.
Don't be like that, Commissioner. We're all pals. Let's gather around the old piano and give out with a little harmony. What do you say?
Well...
Come on, Mr. Gildersleeve. Let's put our arms around each other's shoulders just like true jolly boys.
You old hypocrite.
Floyd, how about massaging the ivory?
Okay, Chief.
Well, what'll it be, man?
And how about this one?
Floyd!
Here's a rollicking number. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer true.
Hey, we haven't done this one lately.
Hey, that's it. Take it.
And don't sing in my ear, Peavy. Face the piano.
When you wore a tulip, a sweet yellow tulip, and I wore a big red rose. When you caressed me, 'twas then heaven blessed me. What a blessing, but no one knows. You made life cheery when you called me dearie. 'Twas down where the bluegrass grows.
Right on the nose.
Your lips were sweeter than julep when you wore a tulip, and I wore a big red rose.
A big red rose.
Well, that was quite melodious.
Yeah, hello, Judge.
Hooker!
Look what the wind blew in.
Well, this is an unexpected pleasure. Thought you were pounding the law books tonight.
Gentlemen, I'm afraid I am the harbinger of bad news.
What's up, Judge?
My purpose in coming here is to warn one of our members of possible danger. Sort of a message to Garcia.
Speak English, Horace.
Well, it concerns you, Gildy.
What?
I'm afraid you're in for some trouble.
What are you talking about?
Well, I'll make it brief. a while ago I decided to take a little constitutional, and I happened to pass your house, Gildy. And, throat's a little dry. I wonder if I might have a Coke.
Later, Judge. Come to the point.
Well, as I was saying, Gildy, I happened to pass your house.
Yes, yes.
Well, I observed an extremely large young man pacing up and down. He appeared to be in a violent state. Having heard about your recent peccadillos with your secretary, Gildy, I recognized the young man as your rival.
What happened?
Well, I realized a friend's life was in danger. I knew this young giant would have to be removed from the premises, by force if necessary. This was the time for action. I studied him carefully, looking for an opening.
Then what'd you do?
I decided to run right down here and tell you, Gildy.
Well, thank you very much, Judge.
Not at all.
Did he have a gun?
Well, I didn't notice. Wouldn't surprise me, though.
Yes, they usually do.
Gee, I can just see the headlines. Love-crazed youth shoots rival in the stomach.
Oh, that's not funny.
Well, I've done my duty. I think I'll be running along.
Me too.
Yep, might as well bust it up, I guess.
Wait a minute, fellas. What's the rush? Evening's young yet.
Sorry, Commissioner. Got a heavy day at the shop tomorrow.
How about a little poker, fellas? Come on. You know I always lose.
Not tonight.
Well, good night.
Wait a minute, Judge.
What?
I'll walk with you. You go past my house. It's on your way.
Sorry, I'm going the other way tonight, Gildy. Good night, gentlemen.
Well, don't look at me, Commissioner. I don't live out your way.
Fine friends.
What's the matter? Scared to go home?
I didn't say that.
Why don't you get the chief to escort you? He's a cop. He gets paid for it.
Not so fast, Floyd. I'm off duty. Besides, I don't have my badge.
A fine excuse. Head of the police force. Won't even protect the life of an innocent citizen. All you care about is handing out traffic tickets. You let a dangerous criminal run around the streets waving a gun right under your nose.
Hold on, Commissioner. This fella hasn't done anything. My job is to catch criminals after they commit a crime. You just let him shoot you. Then watch me go into action. I'll have him behind bars before dawn, fingerprinted and everything.
A lot of good that'll do me, stretched out cold on the front lawn.
Sorry. That's the law. Come on, Floyd.
See you in the morning, Commish. I hope.
Mr. Gildersleeve, if I can be of any service.
What? Oh, well, come on, Peavy. You're better than nothing.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that. Well, good night, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Peavy, wait a minute. What are you going in there for?
Yeah, I live here.
Oh. Yeah. So dark, I didn't see the house.
Well, good night, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Peavy, want to stay out and talk a while?
Not particularly. Well...
Say, it's kind of chilly. Cup of coffee would be nice. Mrs. Peavy makes wonderful coffee.
Yes, she does. I think I'll go in and have a cup.
Well, I'm in no hurry. I could come in and have a cup with you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Gildersleeve, but Mrs. Peavy doesn't like to have anyone see her with her hair up in curlers. I try to avoid it myself.
Well,
if I were you, I'd just go home and get a good night's sleep.
Sleep? But Peavy...
Good night, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Peavy! Gone. I'm all alone. Well, I guess I better go home. Can't stay here all night. Or can I? No. Pull yourself together, Gildersleeve. What are you afraid of? Face it like a man. What's that? Oh, the cat. Kitty, 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 kitty. Yeah, nice kitty. Am I glad to see you. Going my way? Wonder if he's still in front of my house. Guess he is. Probably hiding behind some bush, waiting to pounce on me like a hungry panther. What's that? Something behind that telephone pole. I saw it move. Wonder if that's him. I could just peek around. It moved again. Looks awfully big. Oh, it's my shadow. How do I get into these silly things? All I did was try to make Bessie happy. I could just explain that to this young madman before he pulls the trigger. Almost there. Don't see anybody. Too dark to see anyway. Well. Why should I be afraid? Got a right to go into my own house. I'd like to see him stop me. I don't care if he did chin himself 25 times. Just let him try, that's all. He'll find out. I'm not going down without a fight. If I can only make the house. Hope the door's unlocked. There's the porch. Oh! Darn roller skates. Door is stuck. Oh! Made it.
Hi, Unc.
Leroy!
What are you shaking for, Unc?
Leroy, have you seen anybody outside tonight?
Sure, Bessie's boyfriend.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, he's not here anymore, Unc. He said he couldn't wait.
Oh, he couldn't?
He gave me a message for you. Said he wanted to thank you for what you did.
Huh?
He said he was wrong. He took another look at the old Bessie.
Yeah?
He said he liked the new Bessie better.
Oh,
What's he talking about?
my boy, you're a little angel.
I am?
Yes. And Leroy, there's another thing I want to say to you.
What's that, Unc?
Get those skates off the front steps. I almost broke my neck. Good night, Leroy.
Boy, what a character.
Leroy?
Yeah, Unc, you want me?
Did you take those roller skates off the front steps?
Sure I did, Unc. I brought them inside.
Oh, good. Leroy, I want you to listen to this. I got a letter today from the National Safety Council. It says that every year thousands of people are injured in American homes just because of carelessness, because things are left around for people to fall over. We don't want that to happen around here, do we?
No, Unc.
You run up to bed, my boy.
Okay. Good night, Unc.
Little Leroy. Folks, let's all be a little more careful to avoid accidents around the house. Remember, there's no place like home when it's a safe home. Well, off to beddy bye. Good night, folks. Oh! Leroy!
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. It was written by Jack Robinson and Gene Stone with music by Jack Meakin. In addition to our regular cast, you heard Arthur Q. Bryan, Ken Christie, and Gloria Holliday. This is John Wald saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve. And remember, many sections of the country will be back on Standard Time next Wednesday. Be sure to check your local paper for our broadcast time.
Ladies, when you're in a hurry and the family's hungry, here's a quick, easy way to satisfy appetites. Serve Pabstet, the delicious cheddar cheese food. Children love Pabstet's mellow cheddar flavor on crackers or toasted sandwiches. And for main dish treats, you can have a smooth, golden Pabstet cheese sauce ready in a jiffy for perking up the flavor of macaroni, egg, and hot vegetable dishes. Get both delicious varieties, golden cheddar and pimento Pabstet, for a variety of menu uses. Ask for Pabst-ETT, Pabstet cheese food.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
The Kraft Kraft Foods Company presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve.
Well,
The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of parquet margarine. Every day, millions of women all over America serve parquet margarine because it tastes so good.
To market, to get some parquet. Home again, try it today. You'll like it, you'll love it, like millions who say.
Parquet margarine made by Kraft.
Their favorite margarine is parquet.
Parkay, it's wonderful. There's a well-known problem in the Gildersleeve household. If it isn't Leroy running through the house, it's Leroy running up the stairs.
oh, Leroy, take it easy.
And it's always Leroy running through his shoes, which is quite a running problem to the Great Gildersleeve.
Bank statements. Hate 'em. Look at this. Every other check. Shoes for Leroy. Shoes for Leroy. Leroy, come down here.
You called me up?
And don't run. Oh.
What's up, Unc?
Leroy, you've been running through too many pairs of shoes. What happens to them?
Gosh, I'm on my feet a lot, Unc.
Well, try to sit down more often like I do. Let me see those soles. Oh, for goodness sake. How do you do it, Leroy?
No brakes on my bicycle.
What am I going to do with you, young man?
Buy me a new bike?
No. We're going down to Hogan Brothers in the morning and buy you a new pair of shoes with pig iron soles. If you're going to run through the house like a horse, you might as well look like one. Why isn't that boy ready? Keep me waiting like this. Here it is, nearly 9 o'clock. Why didn't he wash his feet last night? He knows very well that... Leroy!
I'm coming. Not so loud, Unc.
Well, get a move on. Why are you tiptoeing?
You said to take it easy on the shoes.
It's a little late for that pair. Look at those toes. Like blown-out firecrackers.
Take it easy, Unc. You might wake Marge. She's still asleep.
And since when have you become so interested in your sister's sleep? Shh. Don't go shushing me in my own house. What is this?
Leroy, don't you leave.
Oh, Unc, see? You woke her up.
Leroy Forrester, don't you dare try to sneak out of the house without asking for it first. Good morning, Uncle Mort.
Good morning, my dear.
Who's sneaking out? Just trying to let you get your beauty sleep. Why didn't you sleep till noon, Marge?
And don't try to be funny. Ask him for it now.
What is this?
I'll ask him on the way downtown. See you later, Marge.
Leroy Forrester, you ask him for it now.
Yes, Leroy, for goodness sake, ask me.
Go on. I want my $1.80.
Your $1.80?
He's been borrowing nickels and dimes from me long enough. He never pays them back, the little weasel.
Little young man?
And I just have to get those new Ken Carson records. Ask him, Leroy. I want my money.
Well, can I have my October allowance, Unc?
Your October allowance? If you remember correctly, I just gave you your November allowance.
Okay, my December allowance.
Leroy, you're up to your ears in debt again. What are we going to do with you?
Well, you can't throw me into prison. I learned that in school. You used to could throw a guy in debtor's prison, but Miss Goodwin says that...
No one has any intention of throwing you into prison. Have you, Marjorie? No. But you must learn to pay your debts.
Why? If they can't throw you into prison...
That's not the proper attitude, young man. How do you ever expect to get any place in this world if you can't borrow money? Borrow and pay back. Borrow and pay back. That's the American way of life. You know that. And you can't expect to borrow without credit.
What about my money, Uncle Mort?
Huh? Oh, yes. Here you are, my dear. December, Leroy.
Thanks, Unky.
How about thanking me?
Huh?
All the dirty things to do, attaching a guy's allowance. Holy cow, now I won't have any money till Christmas. Hey, Unc, how about raising my allowance $1 so I won't always be embarrassing my relatives?
I'll do no such thing. If you want more money, you can earn it.
Gosh, probably I'll have to sell papers. Standing around on a drafty old street corner.
A lot of big men started their fortunes selling newspapers. It's a very honorable profession for boys. Hard work, small pay, long hours, but honorable.
Okay, Unc, you've convinced me.
Good.
I'll take better care of the money you give me.
You bet you will. You'll take your responsibilities more seriously. You can't go around borrowing money with no intention of paying it back. Good credit is money in the bank, Leroy. Remember that. Look at me. I don't owe a man in this whole town, and I can go to any of my friends and borrow $100 anytime I want it.
$100?
Certainly, $100 or more. Well, I could. Now, who's that?
Well, good morning, Gildy. Hello, Leroy.
Hi.
Judge, you're just the man I want to see. Loan me $100.
What?
Loan me $100. You're a friend of mine, Horace.
$100?
Where are you going?
Goodbye.
Oh.
Credit slipping, huh, Unc?
It is not. Come back here, Horace. Horace, old pal, come back. What's the idea of running off like that?
What's the idea of frightening me like that? What do you need $100 for heaven's sake?
Well, if I ask for it, it must be important.
I'll say.
Leroy, you stay out of this. And you may go upstairs.
What for?
Well, wash your hands.
To go get a pair of shoes?
Yes. The judge and I want to have a little talk.
Oh, for corn's sake.
I'm sorry if I embarrassed you in front of your nephew, Gildy, but $100.
Forget it, Judge. Just write me a check before Leroy comes back, and I'll explain later.
Not so fast, Gildy. I'm sorry if you're in financial difficulty, but if you can't make both ends meet, get into something that pays instead of collecting your little dole from the city.
I resent that, Hooker.
If I've told you once, I've told you 100 times, you're just vegetating in the water department. You're becoming a big fat water lily.
Listen, you old goat.
Now, Gildy.
Will you try to listen for a minute? Horace, I'm only doing this for Leroy's benefit.
For Leroy's benefit? Well, you make a touching appeal, Gildy. But...
Oh, for goodness sake. Come on, Leroy, we're going downtown. Leroy, what's holding you up now?
I'm washing my hands.
What for? We're just going down to get some shoes. That boy.
Miss Gildersleeve. Miss Gildersleeve, you leaving now?
Yes, Bertie. What is it?
Nothing except this is grocery day. Good morning, Judge.
Morning, Bertie. Beautiful morning.
It sure is, Judge. Grocery day, Mr. Gildersleeve.
What? Didn't I give you this week's grocery money, Bertie?
Yes, sir, but we bought that ham, you know, and when you buy ham these days, you're dealing in high finance.
Yes. How much, Bertie?
Well, we're out of eggs. You and Leroy ate the last half dozen this morning. And then we need sugar and coffee and potatoes. You want to see the list?
No. How much, Bertie?
Well, $20 ought to do it.
Well, see you later, Gildy.
You needn't rush away, Judge. I've got grocery money. Step along, Leroy. I've got other things to do today.
Oh, gosh, Unc, if you haven't got time, why don't you let me pick out my own shoes?
This thing needs supervision, young man.
But I'm a big kid.
You're still a little boy, even if you do have a man-sized foot.
I'll bring back the change, honest.
Well, you have to learn how to take care of money sometime, I guess. Gave Bertie all my big bills. Come along, Leroy. I'll have to go down to the bank and get some money anyway.
Way down there and back? Can't you borrow it from one of your friends?
Leroy.
All your friends aren't like Judge Hooker, are they?
Judge Hooker is no longer a friend.
There's Mr. Munson in his barber shop. He's a friend of yours.
Well, yes, he is.
And if we're in a hurry...
All right, come on, Leroy. The trouble with you is that you always have to be shown.
Hi, Commish. Wondered if you were coming in.
Morning, Floyd.
Leroy, how they going?
Swell.
Well, what'll it be? Haircut, Commish? Hop right up.
No, not today, Floyd.
Shave for Leroy? Well, what can I do for you?
Well, Floyd, we just dropped in to,
You want me to ask him?
I'll handle this. Floyd, how much money do you have in the till?
Well, let me see. It just opened up. Chief Gates was in for a haircut and a shave. Cut him. Chief has a bad mole, ugly place right on his face.
Come on, Floyd. How much do you have?
Well, a haircut and a shave's only $1.25. No tip. Cut him.
That's not enough. How much do you have under the towels?
Under the towels?
I know you keep the big stuff under the towels, Floyd. All barbers do. Let's see it.
Why?
Gee, have you got $100 under there, Mr. Munson?
Yes, Floyd. Let me have 100.
$100? Kidding, huh? Aren't you?
No, I'm not, Floyd. You're a friend of mine, a fellow jolly boy. Lend me $100.
Commissioner, if I had 100 clams, I wouldn't be cutting hair. I'd skip town so fast nobody'd know which way I went. Say, you're not thinking of skipping...
Don't be ridiculous, Floyd, and stop beating around the bush. I have to get down to Hogan Brothers.
Oh? That little secretary of yours putting a squeeze on you for another dress?
No, Floyd.
Can't squeeze the secretary without getting squeezed right back, huh, Commissioner?
Now, see here, Floyd, that was a misunderstanding, and you know it.
Well, what do we talk about now?
We're talking about money, Floyd. Let's see what's in the bag.
What bag?
The bag under the towels.
Oh, that. That's my lunch.
Your lunch? Let me see.
Now, just a minute, Commish.
Uh-huh. What kind of a lunch is that, Floyd?
Bologna sandwiches.
Bologna is right. A fine friend you are. You can't even tell the truth.
Well, you haven't told me anything. Why do you want the dough? Did you lose your job? Mayor Terwilliger fire you
It's
again?
none of your business what I want the money for.
Okay, have it your way. But you can't expect to come in and put the sleeve on a guy without telling him why.
Oh, come on, Unc. We're not going to get any shoes this way.
Shoes? Hey, just a minute, Commish. If it's a matter of keeping the kid in shoes, why,
That's not the idea. I'm just trying to establish Leroy's credit. Come on, Leroy.
We'll be back with the great Gildersleeve in just a minute. The other day, in my capacity as the parquet reporter, I had a very interesting conversation with Judge Hooker. It all started when I said, Judge, what do you think...
Think of parquet? Well, son, I'll tell you. Parquet is my favorite spread for bread. Yes, sir. I think parquet is above par and okay.
Yes, Judge, but what do you think about...
Think about the vitamin content? Well, I'll tell you. I think the fact that parquet contains 15,000 units of vitamin A per pound is mighty important to every housewife.
And what about the
quality? I know it's made by Kraft, and that's all I need to know. If it's a Kraft product, it's a quality product. I know parquet is good.
Well, how about the
cost of parquet? Why, son, parquet is a real money saver. Now that food prices are so high, parquet is certainly easy on the food budget.
Look, Judge, why do you
buy parquet? I buy parquet because it tastes so good.
Yes, sir. Parquet does taste good. After all, millions of women all over America serve parquet, the Kraft quality margarine, for that very reason. Try parquet margarine. Parkay. It's wonderful. 3 times in its history, the Summerfield Telephone Exchange has been swamped. That time in 1922 when the glue factory blew up. The time Orson Welles broadcast from Mars. And the time Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve tried to borrow $100 to teach his nephew a lesson in credit. That's today.
I heard about it in the barber shop. Nobody seems to know how he went broke, but...
It's the most pitiful thing, Agnes. Borrowing money to buy shoes for his family. Our own water commissioner.
I stopped by this morning to give him a ride downtown, and he tried to hit me up for $100. A man needs help, Chief.
Yeah, okay, I'll tell him your phone, Chief Gates. Yeah, I'll tell him his credit's always good with you, huh? Okay, so long, Chief.
What's this, Leroy?
Oh, hi, Unc. You home?
What's this about my credit?
That was Chief Gates. Said he'd been talking to Judge Hooker, and if you needed money, why didn't you come to him?
Money? What's Hooker been up to now?
Gosh, I wish I had credit like you. Didn't think you could do it, Unc.
Yes. Well, no matter, just so you've learned your lesson, my boy. The important thing is pay your debts promptly, when due. Then you'll always have good credit like I have.
Now, you've sure got it, Unc. They've been calling all afternoon.
Oh, Who's been calling?
People trying to lend you money.
What is this, Leroy?
Not much. $5, $10, some 20.
What?
Oh, boy, there's another one. I'll get it.
Leroy, come back here. I'll get it. How did this get around town? Try to teach a child a lesson and... Hello. Yes, this is Mr. Gildersleeve. Dr. Pettibone? No, thanks, Doctor. I don't need any. Don't know how it ever got around. Rumors. Idle rumors. Yes, I'm sure. Goodbye.
Dr. Pettibone, huh? He called before.
Well, he won't call again, and nobody else had better call.
Let me get this one, Unc.
Never mind. I've got it. Hello? Yes? No. Goodbye. Confound it.
Who's that, Unc?
I don't know.
A lot of them said they were going to call back.
That's what they think.
What are you going to do, Unc?
Operator? Operator. Hello. I want to be disconnected. Yes, this is Mr. Gildersleeve. Don't be sorry. Just disconnect the telephone. Stop everything. Terminate the service. No more calls, do you hear? That's an order. How do these things happen?
Why don't you go in and sit down, Unc? You've had a tough day.
Yes, I have. I will. Zook.
Hello, Leroy. Hello, Uncle Mort.
Hi, Marge. Hey, you should have been here. A lot's been going on.
I know what's been going on, Leroy. Do you mind if I talk to Uncle Mort alone for a few minutes?
Sure, I was just going.
Well, Marjorie?
You poor old dear.
Huh?
Why didn't you tell me, Unky?
Tell you what.
I just want you to know that I'll do anything to help. And here's the $1.80. I didn't get the records.
Now, see here, Marjorie, what have you heard?
I wish I'd heard it from you rather than from the outside. Unky, I'll skimp. I'll go without.
Skimp? Oh, for goodness sake, there'll be no skimping nor going without around here. Marjorie, sit down. I have to talk to you. Little Marjorie.
Poor old Unky. Borrowing money on the streets.
Marjorie! Marjorie, I want you to listen to me. Now stop that crying. Here, dry your eyes. There's nothing to be upset about, my dear. It was all a misunderstanding. Horrible mistake. Your old uncle has plenty of money. Well, enough anyway. You and Leroy will always have the best that money can buy. Is that clear?
Yes, Unky.
Well, now go upstairs, my dear, and compose yourself.
I'm home, Mr. Gildersleeve. Come out and see the roast beef. I got a lot of groceries.
Huh? Oh, hello, Bertie.
But you know something? That man down at the grocery store wouldn't let me pay for them.
What?
He said he understands. Said take as long as you want to pay.
Oh, Unky, you're being so noble.
Marjorie, come back here. Bertie?
What's the matter with her?
What's the matter with everybody around here?
I don't know, but that grocery man, he's crazy. That's what he is. He wouldn't take no money.
Well, he will take it.
No, sir, he won't. I kept fanning him with that $20 bill, and all he said was he understood.
Well, he doesn't understand. Bertie, you take that money back to him.
Well, just as you say, Mr. Gildersleeve, but I wouldn't be looking no gift horse in the mouth, not at these prices.
How do I go about straightening this thing out? Put an ad in the newspaper? The paper probably wouldn't take my money. Telephone, Bertie. Telephone?
I'll get it.
No, I'll get it. I thought I told that operator.
Mr. Gildersleeve?
Operator, I told you to discontinue our service.
We did, Mr. Gildersleeve, but one of your friends had your service reinstated and asked us to send the bill to him.
Who did that?
Oh, he said he preferred to remain anonymous.
Oh!
Peavy's Pharmacy. Oh, hello, Judge. No, I haven't seen him around today. $100? You don't say. No, he hasn't asked me yet. Well, I'll be watching for him. I'll talk to you later, Judge.
Hello, Peavy.
Well, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for... It's a fine day, isn't it?
Peavy, it's mighty good to see you.
It is?
This is the one place a man can come when things aren't going right. You're always happy to see a person drop in.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Yes, sir, it's always good to come in here and talk to a real friend. By George, we've been pretty close, Peavy. You and I always have been able to talk about our personal problems.
Well, up to a point.
And we don't want to talk about them, we don't. Peavy, we're not going to talk about money, are we?
Oh, no, Mr. Gildersleeve. As a matter of fact, I'd rather we didn't.
Huh?
But I want you to know that if you ever need anything in the way of pharmaceutical preparations, just come in and I'll be glad to put it on the books.
See, you too, Peavy.
Oh, it's just a friendly gesture, you understand. I wouldn't want it to get around to the rest of my trade.
Don't worry, Peavy. Now get this straight about my finances once and for all, will you? Well, hello, Eve.
Hello, Throckmorton. How nice to see you. Hello, Mr. Peavy.
Yeah, hello, Miss Goodwin.
Eve, it's good to see you. Have a Coke. A great big Coke.
Well, I don't...
Peavy, 2 large Cokes.
2 large Cokes, Mr. Gildersleeve? The large ones are 10, the small ones are 5.
You heard me, Peavy. 2 large Cokes.
I think I'd rather have a small one, Throckmorton.
Yes, Cokes are very filling.
2 large Cokes, Peavy. Who's doing the ordering?
I really couldn't drink a large one.
2 small Cokes coming up.
What? 2 large Cokes, Peavy. Confound it.
Well, 1 large Coke with 2 straws. A lot of people are drinking that way now.
Well, have it your own way, Peavy. 1 large Coke with 2 straws.
Oh, Throckmorton, you're still a schoolboy.
By George, Eve, this is wonderful. Let's step out tonight. I've had a hard day. Feel like doing the town.
Well, I was going to the library.
Library? Let's have dinner at the Sky Room, Eve. Much noisier. What the heck?
Oh, that sounds wonderful, Throckmorton.
The Sky Room, you say? I wouldn't be carried away, Mr. Gildersleeve.
What business is this of yours, Peavy?
Just speaking as a friend. Pardon me.
Yes. Well, here you are, Peavy.
No, let the Cokes be on me, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Peavy.
What is this?
It's a pleasure, Miss Goodwin. Quite a rich bill of fare at the Sky Room, as I remember. Took Mrs. Peavy there on our wedding anniversary. Skipped 2 of the courses, and it still cost me nearly...
Peavy, I'm not interested in the cost.
Well, then I can't feel very sorry for you.
I don't want you to feel sorry for me, you or anybody else.
Please, Throckmorton, perhaps I should go to the library tonight.
But, Eve, what about our dinner?
Well, if you insist. But why don't we just go to the tea room? We've always enjoyed it there.
Yes, that's a sensible idea.
Jeez. Why don't you take her to dinner, Peavy? I'm not hungry. I'll call you later, Eve.
Well, Throckmorton, where are you going?
I feel so bad I may even go to the office and work. Fine state of affairs that a man can't talk to a friend without being offered money. It's humiliating. I'll lock myself in the office. They'll never think to call me there.
Hey, Gildersleeve. Wait a minute, Gildy.
Oh, Hooker.
I've been looking all over for you. I've got great news. Your troubles are over.
Hooker, what do you mean by spreading this malicious gossip all over town? Are you trying to ruin my reputation?
I bring you glad tidings, Gildy.
Out of the way, Benedict Arnold.
The mayor's in his office, and he wants to see you.
The mayor? Did you tell him, too?
I didn't tell him a thing. But you'd better stop in and see him. I understand he has a pleasant surprise for you.
I don't want any charity from Mayor Terwilliger or anybody else.
Who said anything about charity? Stop in and see him.
All right, I will, and I'll tell him. Terwilliger?
Well, Gildersleeve, come in. I have something here that will be of interest to you.
Well, I don't want it. And I want you and everybody else to know that I don't need money. I wouldn't accept a penny.
This is astonishing. Why do you say that, Gildersleeve?
Because I have money. Money in my pocket. Money in the bank. A war bond. Insurance. My house is paid for, practically. I don't need any money.
Well, I don't understand your attitude, Gildersleeve, but I do admire it. And I appreciate your being down here on Saturday afternoon, too, attending to business like I am. And why do we do it, Gildersleeve? Not for money. For the good of our fair city.
Oh, yes.
Well, Gildersleeve, you've robbed me of a great pleasure this afternoon, but I'm proud of you. It was to be my pleasant duty to report that at last week's council meeting we voted a rather substantial raise for you.
Raise? Well...
But if you won't take the money, we'll divert it into some other use. Yes, this is a big thing you're doing, Gildersleeve, and I know it'll give you great satisfaction to see me tear up this check.
Oh, but Mr. Mayor!
What did you say, Gildersleeve?
We'll see very shortly whether the great Gildersleeve can bounce back from that one. Every day, millions of women all over America serve parquet margarine because it tastes so good. Try it soon. Discover for yourself how good parquet tastes when you spread it on bread, toast, and rolls. It's true, every day, millions of women all over America serve parquet margarine because it tastes so good. Look first for the margarine of Kraft quality. Parquet margarine made by Kraft.
To market, to get some parquet. Home again, try it today. You like it, you love it, like millions who say.
Parquet margarine made by Kraft.
Their favorite margarine is Parquet.
P-A-R-K-A-Y, it's wonderful.
Here's a letter for you, special delivery.
Oh, thank you, Bertie.
Must be important, special delivery on Sunday.
Yes, we'll see. From Mayor Terwilliger. Why is he writing me? Dear Gildersleeve, I have given the matter of your raise additional thought, and I'm enclosing a check to cover the increase, which is retroactive from September the 1st. Well... rather than call a special meeting of the council to retract the appropriation, I find it'll be less costly to the city if you accept the money. Oh, how much is it? Less withholding tax, less Social Security, less 1948 campaign contribution. Pay to Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve $4.13. What a raise, Terwilliger. It's a good thing it's Sunday, or I'd go down and tear up this check in his face. But I'll be cooled off by Monday. 4:13. Good night, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. It was written by John Elliott and Andy White with music by Jack Meakin. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Louise Erickson, Lillian Randolph, Earl Ross, and Richard LeGrand. This is John Wald saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products.
Good night.
Listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
If you're keeping a sharp eye on your food budget these days, here's an economical way to make leftovers taste extra good. Pour a rich golden Pabstet cheese sauce over leftovers of meat, chicken, vegetables, or fish. Presto, leftovers taste better than ever. Pabstet cheese food is a grand treat in snacks and sandwiches, too. And it's doubly delicious served with fruit or pie for dessert. Get Pabstet tomorrow in golden cheddar or pimento varieties. Ask for Pabst-ETT. Pabstet cheese food.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.